and we have special guests Justin Craig Johnson and Cierra Johnson, winners of the event. And how you guys doing? Everything good?
Doing great, doing great.
Awesome, awesome. If you guys are just joining us, let us know where you're watching from, and follow us on our Facebook page. This is also live on YouTube. We also have Instagram. So we just hit 1 million followers. Thanks to everybody out there for your support. And it's sponsored by ASG, Doris Brothers, and Fighters Inc. So Ozark Mountain Nationals, Richard, man. You've been promoting, your tournament's been building and building all these years, and then, all of a sudden coronavirus comes, and then some people went with virtual, and then things started to open up, and you did the tournament, and man, it looked like it was quite a success. Like more people than I even thought were gonna be there ended up going. Right? Were you surprised by the numbers?
Yeah, you and me both, Alex. We were both surprised. That last week we anticipated only about 100 competitors, and then the pre-registrations just kept rolling in and rolling in and rolling in. And, it wasn't the competitors so much, it was the amount of spectators that we had that really, really surprised us. Some of the things that we had planned for, we did not plan for that type of spectator turnout. I think a couple of our open weight fighters that were from the local area almost had 20 spectators just to watch one fighter. They had a whole family. They had a corner of the place that was
wow.
It was all for one kid, and so but they all stayed together. So yeah, I mean honestly, that was probably one of the most positive feedback events. That was my third smallest event I've ever had, and I had more positive feedback just for the simple fact that we were live and people appreciated. Some of the things that we had planned didn't work out the way I wanted them to, but a lot of things did go very well. And people we're trying to keep to themselves as best we could and did what we could. But I had grandmas, grandpas, dads, moms, everybody coming up to me. And I probably got more hugs at this tournament than I did at any of my other tournaments because people were so happy to be there.
That's true. How happy were you guys, Justin and Cierra? Because it was your first tournament, right? Since all this thing has happened, it was actually the first tournament pretty much available, right?
Yeah, we had a really small local one. Sean Vickery and Chris Vickery put on, so we had that.
Oh yeah, that's right. But how does it feel to be back now competing? Like it's pretty much like now we got the Battle of Atlanta coming up, right? There's actually a tournament this week, and I don't know who's going, but in person, it's in South Carolina with Brian Pena. That's gonna be, they're starting to pop out. There's been some in Florida. So how do you guys feel about sport karate coming back?
I missed it.
I missed it so much. I'm glad to see this coming.
Yeah. Hey, so Richard, they won. Now Cierra and Justin, they won the fighting grants. They both won grants.
Sierra won open weight,
first place.
Justin took both open weight and the regular grands.
Okay.
And then Sierra had a heck of a fight with a young lady out of Wichita, Kansas for grands. And so, but Sierra did win the open weight, and then she was runner-up in grands. We had a really good fight in grands.
Yeah, so you won open weight and then runner-up for grands. That's awesome. Now, have you guys ever won a tournament together, like where you got in, a first place or whatever at the same event? Or no, first time?
I think we might have, maybe once.
Yeah, I think it was a smaller tournament though, like a huge one or anything like that.
Yeah, that's always awesome. I was thinking about like other couples, power couples, right? Sport karate power couples, and like Juliana and Justin Ortiz, right? Although one does forms, one does fighting, right? And then we had before Jason Grenier and Verona. And there's been more. There's other ones I just can't remember. But that's pretty cool. Like, tell us how it goes, because I'm thinking about like Shayla, right? Like my fiance, and like we train together, and like when she can't score on me, she tries to rip my head off. She'll turn it into forget about point fighting. We're going full blown kickboxing. How is it with you guys? You guys have that competitiveness with each other?
It makes for if I mess up, it's a long ride home because she's telling me everything I did wrong under the sun and things that I didn't know I did wrong. She's like, no, you should have done this. You should have been more, what's the word? Should have paid more attention, quit playing so much, and do what you were supposed to do. I get chewed out the whole way home.
People always laugh at our coach. We're all that we have to train with. But people laugh because we'll be like, what was the point?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Hey, yeah, for sure. Hey, Cierra, I think when you're talking, I'm not sure if it's both of you. It cuts off for just a little bit in the words. Maybe, I don't know, maybe put the camera a little closer or get closer sometimes. But I can hear you sometimes it like chops off a little, but I can hear you good. Okay. Hey, Richard. So, man, that's it. The tournament, man, all the preparation, right? And then all the protocols and everything. It was more stressful than other years, right? Leading up to it.
Absolutely. This was probably the most stress and most sleep I've lost over an event because, the biggest thing is perception with events, especially during a COVID like this and what we've got.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be the people that were inside. It was how people viewed it from the outside.
Yeah,
Did they
that's
feel like
true.
we tried to take care of, the families inside? Did we do everything we could and have the protocols in place to be able to pull this off? And like I said, we felt like we had a really good plan in place. I was underestimating. Typically, you have 2 spectators per 1 competitor, and we were averaging 3 and 4 spectators per 1 competitor. So we were pushing at one point. Now, granted, we had the sessions, so we never had everybody in the same place at the same time. But at between 350 to 400 spectators is what we were estimating is what we had total. So we were way off on the projections. I didn't think we would have 200 spectators with 100 competitors. So we just got overwhelmed with spectators. But like I said, for the most part, the plan that we had in place, it worked for a lot of things because it may have looked tight inside the arena. For most part, people were staying in their pods together. Like it may be a group of 20, but it was 20 people from the same school trying to stick together the whole time.
Yeah, I got you.
And so we had a lot of things in place. A lot of things worked and some things didn't work. But like I said, it was very, very stressful. And the people that were there absolutely loved it. I mean, this was, there may have been complaints that day, but nobody's contacted me and talked about them. And for the most part, like I said, it was very positive. There was a young lady.
Everybody was happy. Hey, how about talking about being happy? I know you guys had students there too, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. And how did they do? How'd they do at the event?
They did great. Open weight for was it 11 or 12 and up? 12 and under, I think. We had 5 in that division. I think there was 13 to 14 competitors. The final 4 was all ours, so I couldn't be more happy with those kids. They did great in their division. They made me broke because I actually pay them out. Like I pay $5 if they win first, and they kind of broke me. So,
hey, that's pretty cool. So you give your students bonuses. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome, man. Hey, now look at those awards. Those are pretty cool. Those are that's like a belt rack. Is that what it is? Like that holds a belt, like a grand check. That's very unique. Who did that? Who made those? How do you have those? Who made those? Do you know?
Guitaro made those.
Guitaro made those? Okay, so that's a sponsor of the event too. Yeah, I was thinking that, but I wasn't sure. But man, those are pretty cool. Those belts are pretty cool. I never seen those before. Have they handed those out awards like that before? Were they sponsored or is it the first time?
That's something that's for Ozark Mountain Nationals. So when me and Gage started talking years back, other people started using the grands. Gage is with Guitaro that goes to a lot of the events.
Yeah.
And I said I wanted something unique for Ozark Mountain Nationals. I said I don't want nobody else in the country to have this belt. I want the gold belt in our open weight championships every time. That's going to be like our signature thing is going to be this gold belt. So as long as Guitaro continues to sponsor us, every open weight championship will have that gold belt, and that'll be the only place in the country that you can find that gold belt.
It's exclusive. The exclusive, right? That's pretty cool. Yeah, because I'm like, man, I'm surprised. I wonder if other tournaments are gonna want that, but no. That's copyrighted, right?
That's right.
That's awesome. No, that's great. Hey, so Justin and Cierra, how did you guys meet? How long have you guys been together for?
So we've been together for
7 years.
Yeah, and we met a long time ago.
Her dad was my first instructor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so so Cierra, you've been doing karate for a long time
Yeah,
too.
I started officially training when I was 3.
Since you were 3?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man, that's awesome. That's amazing. So you grew up in karate, and now you guys have a school together.
Yep.
And how long have you guys have been open for?
We'll be open 6 years in January. Right?
Wow, man.
5 years?
5 years
Oh, sorry,
next
5 years.
January.
5 years. Hey, so now how's the school going now with the whole COVID thing? Like, I know, how are things up there where you guys are? You guys stay in Tennessee, right? Is it
Right.
Yeah.
Tennessee? Yeah. How are things up there and the
They're pretty
school?
good. We don't have any mask mandate in our county yet, but surrounding counties do. The school's grown. You know, with baseball and football being out of the question for a lot of kids right now, there's really not much place for them to go. So I'm getting a pretty good group that are 2 and 3 sport athletes that are coming in and starting to train here. So it's been pretty
Man, that's awesome for you, man. That's awesome for you. That's a blessing because I know that there's a lot of schools struggling, including my school. Like my school, we're almost like still in like phase 1, because all the cases are going on. So the schools are not even open; they're just going through virtual. But today, you guys started with after school too, right?
yes, sir. We started
That's
our
awesome, man.
today.
It's great to hear this because it's a positive news that everybody's gonna be getting back. Some people are getting back to normalcy like that, and that's awesome. So it's great to see. We're beating this thing, right? These are signs of beating this thing for sure. Hey, so Richard, do you now Promac, right? Promac Battle of Atlanta's next, and I think there's a few other events this year coming up, right? That are
Yeah.
planned. Do you know? Do
Well,
you know someone?
Battle of Atlanta is coming up here next month, and then the Arkansas Open, and then we've actually got 3 Pro Mac events to finish out the year. So
Wow.
we've got a Springfield event in Springfield, Missouri. We've got one in Wichita, Kansas, the We State Classic. I'm trying to think 1, 2, 3, and then Destin Open. So there's 4 Pro Mac live events still left in the season. So we're trying to set the trend as far as that goes, and we've had to learn a lot from other events. With
Yeah.
Blitz down in Florida, everybody's kind of taking a step back and looking at what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of implementing it, and so everybody's going to have a good plan going into the rest of the year. And every state's different. We can't say what happens in Kansas or
Yeah.
Missouri
True.
is the same that happens in New Jersey, Florida, anywhere. Everything is so different right now and up in the air.
And Promac has it's spread out pretty far, right? You got Florida, you got Arkansas, right? You got
Yeah.
Georgia, so every state is kind of different right now too. But I guess also these are uncharted. This is uncharted territory right now. We've never been in this situation, so everything is kind of like you do your best and you learn from it and you improve it to make it even better and better. But I think that this is very necessary right now for our sport. Right? I know there's some people that want, maybe tournaments to be around, but you have options. There's in-person tournaments and there's virtual. But I think that the sport, if we could have in-person tournaments in a safe way, we have to, because the sport, that's the only way we're going to keep the sport alive. And, I commend you for doing that, and the people, the promoters that are doing it, because there's not many tournaments right now for, giving people a chance to compete and, and keeping it alive, because that's basically what you guys are doing. Right? If there's no tournaments, the sport's pretty much going to be dead. So that's great for people that want to compete, like Justin and Cierra. So I think that's really incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, everybody's taking this serious. Nobody's not taking what's going on serious. I mean,
Yeah.
we all, like I said, I planned for months, and like I said, the stress level was probably higher than any event that I had. And we tried our darndest to make sure everything. And we learned a lot too. So if this continues on to next year, I'll have even a better plan. I've got a bigger facility. I haven't announced it yet because I'm going to lay low for a while until this stuff blows over. But I've already went back and got a facility that's 3 times the size I had this year. So I'm planning for the future in case this thing, which I'm hoping it doesn't. But if we have to be like this for another year, we're going to be ready to go. I learn every year from my event. I don't care. I'm almost 10 years in on this event, and I learn every year. And COVID's just another learning tool, and it makes adjustments. And I'll make those adjustments, and we'll be better off next year.
Hey, so Justin and Cierra, what's your next event that you guys want to battle?
I'm kind of back and forth on battle right now. It's probably be
Yeah.
like week of decision type thing for me right now.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna probably end up at the Arkansas Open for sure. I've got quite a few kids that want to go. I wasn't
Yeah.
planning on going, but if they're going, I need to go with them. So
Hey, how cool is it to take a group of kids to tournaments and then they compete and then they stick around and see you compete? Like, man, I think that's awesome. I love that. I remember when I was competing and I was teaching and stuff, and like it felt good to win with them. Like we're battling it out. Of course, it feels good to just coach, but there's something special, right, about you guys are going there together as a group and like boom, and both of you guys. That's even more incredible right there. Yeah.
I enjoy it, except for when I don't do too well, and my kids have to be like, you're supposed to follow up on that. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah, so they tell you, hey, but you know what? That's good, right? That's good. It gives them a chance to see you and they can tell you to give you feedback and like it works both ways. I think that's beautiful. So that's amazing. I mean, it would be great to see more of that in the sport as well. That's really awesome. Hey, so now I know that you're part of the WKU team, right? But that's not happening this year, right?
It's
And
not.
yeah.
It'll be 2021 in Quebec at the end of November, first of something.
Yeah. That's not gonna happen. But yeah, man. I mean, tournaments are Promac has tournaments coming up. Florida has tournaments coming up, and I think the U.S. Open, right? We got the U.S. Open in December, and then there's promoters out there that are starting to plan other tournaments, and I think that just the safety protocols put them into place, and we could keep going forward in a safe way. And this is awesome. This is really awesome. I'm glad that we're back in it, right? This weekend there's a tournament as well in South Carolina. All the tournaments are on my page, Point Fighter Live, and we also have a group. Hey guys, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Congratulations again. You guys are also the Power Ring winners, which I'm going to ship out tomorrow. I haven't shipped it. I'm sorry. But Justin, you already have one, so this is your second one. Right, you're gonna have a green and a red, and Cierra, you got that green one coming. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on a job well done at the tournament. And Richard, great event. Keep it up. I can't wait till next year's event. Do you have a date already or not yet?
I do. We're the last weekend in July. I've already got the contract. This new facility I've got was my biggest OMN ever was at this location, and we're going back to it just to kind of get that nostalgia going back. And people
Yeah.
love that location, so I signed a 2-year contract with them to go back to them, and people are going to love it. But I'm keeping it close to my chest. But we are going to be the last weekend in July. I'm leaving everybody on the internet alone until January. I promise. I'm not going to say OMN. Nothing until January. I'm gonna let COVID go down, but yeah, and just real quick too, I want to thank the Johnsons too because of they were the third largest group. They traveled at least I think it's 7 hours, at least 7-hour trip to us. They were the third largest school at my tournament. We had 62 different schools at OMN this year, and they brought the third largest group. And every school was important this year. Every single school. So I am very, very appreciative of them and their families and their groups traveling that far to my event. And every single, whether you brought one person or you brought 20, everybody, it was really appreciated. All 62 schools that came to our tournament, we cannot say thank you enough. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Are you gonna be at the battle?
I can't. My work, I'm in the healthcare industry.
Okay.
And then my wife works for the government, so we cannot fly and we can't travel outside of the state. So, or we got to get quarantined. And I'm in the mental health industry, so I'm in and out of hospitals quite a bit. And so I can't travel extensively like I want to. So that's going to make me miss this year.
Yeah,
but
man.
they got a great plan. Battle's going to be good.
It's gonna be great. You guys don't want to miss it. I'm gonna be there, and also we got that Pro Point tournament we got for the lightweights, and the lightweight winners are gonna be given a wild card for the $2,000 that we're giving out. So that's gonna be super fun and exciting. All right, guys.